Well, boys, we are back with another video. This one has been a long time camping. Diablas has finally shown up after multiple sessions with dozens and dozens of placeholders killed. Real pain in the butt for some reason to get him to show up. I was already informed by another camper a long time ago that he has the same special as, well, quite a few of the other mobs, both Hotstock Hills and here. I think Umangi has it. It's the dot that heals. And so a lot of people, I think, have had problems with that in groups because you're sending your whole group in to attack. And so it's hitting everybody, and so it's healing him tremendously. But for solo players, I don't think it's that big of a deal. The one thing you can do is stay out of range, or you can, get to the backside if possible, or you can punt jobber, whatever works best for you. I'll probably punt it. This camp is in this kind of building area. The placeholders are the abyssal terrors, and then there's this real pain in the butt, toughened horror that roams through this pathway and constantly messes up your pools. Because of the situation I'm in right now with this placeholder just respawning, because I took too long to get over here, I'm doing a couple camps. Let me see if I can tag him and not get... Okay, good. So I'll drop this guy. It'll take about 110 seconds. And then I will probably kill that roaming trash mob as well. And then met up and fight Diablas. I'll probably fight him right there. There's some more placeholders in that building, but they won't add. You know what? I will probably tag him with Jobber and back Jobber out and fight him out in the open. Just so I don't get any sort of weird respawns. But I won't have any. These are less than 2-minute fights, and this respawn timer is 10 minutes, so shouldn't be a problem. Again, boys, this one I know the special on, and I obviously have to be careful for me to get hit with the dot, because it will then take healing off a jobber, but it shouldn't be a problem. And then this will wrap up the theater. However, I won't be leaving just yet. I need one more AUG from Copperworth to be able to buy the evolving ring off the merchant vendor. Or the group merchant vendor, I should say. And as far as I can tell, for us solo players, that's probably the only way we're going to do it. It seems like the missions are really hard this time, and I haven't seen anyone offering up spots to earn your check mark to get those missions, let alone people offering up like, hey, let's farm this and get currency. For some reason, Daybreak has gone away from missions that if you're really good, you can solo. And I'm not sure why. It was a lot of fun to be able to push the limit of things and do that. They have made some sort of choice where they don't want it anymore. Oh, don't run in there. What are you doing? Okay, so we'll drop this horror. Sorry, I had to burn some AAs. We'll drop this horror, and then we will met up, and we will take down Diablas to the best of our ability. But yeah, so I will get one more AUG out of Copperworth. And then I will move on to the tier 2 zones. I think between the real challenge of the first bosses in Hotstock Hills and then just really doing a better job of understanding the mechanics. Oh, I've been using Petrifying Wounds. Whoops. Of these fights, I think we're going to be okay. I do have some concerns. In some of the tier 2 zones I've run through, there is some serious mob congestion. And if you get one of the bosses that have that vortex that sucks you into it, it's going to be a challenge. I think a lot of this is the challenge in the tier 2 zones is going to be getting single pulls. And other than that, with the exception of those first bosses that had some really messy strike-through damage, this expansion looks like we're going to be okay. Obviously, I am not using group enhanced minion. I made it clear, and I talk about it. Test server is overloaded with Memory Forge now. Since it's essentially the second half of the Memory Forge life cycle, it's everywhere. You get people on the FV server, that sell it, and then people that play on test will go over there, buy it, test copy it over. I mean, you can do that on any server. It's just I've found that the FV server usually has the best pricing. This horror seems to have a lot of hit points. I'm going to have to med till full. Sorry for this huge delay, guys. I just don't want to mess up this fight. I decided to clear out all the possible ads instead of trying to do some sort of crazy Necromancer pull. So that's what you're stuck watching right now. I'll just hit Death Bloom now to get a little bit back while we're doing this. I've honestly never killed one of these blue horrors. There's been no reason to. I've done all the mercenary quests and everything using placeholders for mobs. Oh, I didn't put I'm missing a dot. Really, just been a very poor example of what we can do. Sorry for this long fight. We're slowly wrapping this up. This has just been a, man, not even 600,000 DPS. Jeez, that's horrible. These horrors definitely have more hit points than the placeholders do. Looks like we're just about there, and we will med up to full. Okay. So, boys, one thing I guess I haven't really explained it. It's out there, I think, online. If you, this is back to the Evolving Ring. If you finish out the Mercenary and Partisan of Hotstock Hills, and you do the Collector and Scavenger of Hotstock Hills, the Group Merchant in Hotstock Hills will unlock the Evolving Ring that you can get in the group missions. It costs 1,350 of the currency for the Outer Brood, which is scale rot emblems. And so for players like us, the only way to get that is to camp. I always forget the full name here. It's Copper Worth. Camp Copper Worth, and he is the weird looking eye creature thing that spawns in this part of the zone. I think by now I figured out he has 3 drops, a cloak, and I want to say an earring. It might be a ring, and then the balanced type 5 AUG. So it's like plus 75 to all your heroic stats. That AUG you can sell to the group merchant, and when you sell, you get 350. AUGs from group merchants cost 500 currency, so you get 350. So to get the 1350, you got to sell back 4 of them. It's I think it's his uncommon drop. I've had a lot of cloaks for sure. I'm gonna get one more, and then I'm probably gonna forget about it. But I want to get it done and move on. Because I know it evolves, and it involves killing, and I want to have it before I move into the tier 2 zones, just so as I'm slaughtering all these placeholders, it counts. Alright boys, enough of that crap. Sorry about that. Let's do Aegeus and Rune. What I will do is tag him with Darkness, send Jobber, and then I'll probably move Jobber so I'm not getting hit by him. So here we go, boys. Let's see how this all works out. We'll go 5. And as he's running, we'll go 2. And then we'll move Jobber so we don't get hit by anything. Let's see how this goes. This looks pretty good. I forgot to debuff. So Jobber is dropping. So he's got the dot on him. You can see it over here in the right hand corner every now and then blinking. But hopefully Seiri takes care of it. If she doesn't, I can throw on some help. So silent. Let's take care of Jobber real fast. What I will probably do here is, oh wow, my dots are really running out. I'm going to go ahead and hit Pet Power, give him some help. And get these dots back on. We're almost back in business. One thing you should note on these type of bosses, and I might have already made the mistake earlier, don't send out your swarm pets. All they're going to do is heal them. You just want to continue to focus on keeping all your dots on, keeping Jobber at a decent health, and just know that this is going to be a fight. You're going to cast wounds twice. Right? So prep's all done. Burn. So we'll start doing some real DPS. Although, again, the way he's healing, it's gonna be a long fight. So when wounds wears off, oh, and I need to hit death. Wrong one. Should hit blood magic. Let's do blood magic. Alright, wounds is about to fade, and we will have to recast that. Take a look at Jobber, keep him up. Okay. And so Seiri's having to heal me because of blood magic, which is fine, but make sure you keep an eye on your pet. So we'll get wounds back on. I'm going to go ahead and use my undead dot here. Let's see. Instead of having siphon on. Scourge. Alright boys, we're down to 50%. Again, just keep an eye on Jobber. He will be taking some pretty good damage. Maintain your dots. You know, don't be an idiot like me and hit Deathloom first. Hit Blood Magic, and when it hits the third proc, switch over to add Deathloom, and you'll basically have a whole bar. Good news is that I have staunch recovery, so if we really start running low on mana, we will be fine. So we're down to 50%. You know, it's just slow going because he's healing himself repeatedly because of that dot. This is the one that you might have, you know, I don't know how your server is, but my server chats a lot. And you'll hear about people saying you had to do range attack only on this. It's not the case, obviously. Alright, we are 55 seconds away. We're about to get another blink, so that's not going to sync up. That's too bad. Maybe we'll catch the tail end of it. You know, we're at a full 90% mana. We're doing fine there. You know, just again, watch Jobber. 20 seconds. You know, a lot of this has to do with me having blood magic on. Okay, so oh wow, we're doing really, really poor. We need another round of wounds. And let's get our dots back on just from the top. So this is really making me feel better about clearing out the roamer. I'm far enough away where he won't add, but this is definitely a longer fight, and that respawn will occur. And so, let's make sure Jobber's doing alright. And so it was a good move to clear it out. When this blinks, I'll click robes. I've mistimed that. I should have already clicked robes, but I'm not in a rush. You know, we're doing alright. We're about to get Deathbloom back, so I'll be able to use that again. We're still at a good solid 65% mana. Okay, there's a blink. I'm going to get on a few more of these dots and then click it. Okay, let's get Jobber back up. Okay, we should be doing a little bit of damage now. put on another wounds. All right, let's get our dots back going. And so, to kind of go back to what I was saying earlier about the Tier 2 zones, when we encounter the bosses in Tier 2 with this special, we're going to be in a bad spot because there's so much congestion that we'll have respawns. So we're going to have to find, not only do we have to be able to get a good pull and get them away from all the congestion, but then we're going to have to find an area that doesn't have any roamers, doesn't have any respawns. I mean, because this fight's taking forever, and I know in Tier 2 it'll be just the same. I haven't been very good about my burns, and that's on me. I've been real focused on jobber. I should probably paid a little bit more attention to what burns I had available. Oh, don't want that. That was auto. Do not want skeletons out there. We're going to come around to getting a little low. We're at 30%. I think we're going to be all right. This is definitely slowing down. We're at the 1 million DPS mark. So we're doing half of what we normally do. All right, down to 12%. %. I'm getting at that point where I have to start considering using staunch recovery since my mana is now so low. I'm choosing not to use a glyph on this. We're down to, I'm going to try to get as close down to 0 mana as possible. And we get a Night on. Staunch recovery comes through with the save. Since we're down to just 7%, we're not going to use wounds again. Although this doesn't work, I'll go ahead and click it. Maybe it will this time. It's never been corrected. I bugged it probably 30 times. Alright, our poison spells did not land. Gonna heal Jobber up a little bit and put those dots back on again. And we will call this one soon. We're just about done. I know it's been a very long video, but I think this is the kind of video that really shows you guys that we can still do just about anything and everything that the groups can do. Necromancers, when geared properly and played correctly, really are still the best solo class in the game. I'm going to assume this guy also has a lot of hit points along with the healing. So we'll pull up game parse in just a few to see just exactly how long did this take. I know we could click the robes again, but boys, I'm just going to save it for whatever's next. Very long fight. But I want to say, again, it's worth it. It really will show off how we can solo all these group bosses. This thing is just healing itself like crazy. 0%, and he's just still hanging on. There we go. Wow, took forever, but we got it done. All right, boys, I don't need to put Jobber up, but there is Hunter. We've got it in the books. That is great. We are done with the tier 1, I believe. Yeah, there it is. And we get another one of our Bane upgrades. That's nice. Alright, boys, let's yeah, Jobber's still having to deal with that dot. Let's take a look at the loot. Pants, this stuff's, and this is a collectible. Yeah. Alright, Harbinger, is that the ones that I already have? Yeah, I've got so many of them. I think those are for the type 18 and 19. I'm just going to leave it in case someone wants it. Short Spear of Apathy. Alright, well, not for me. Plate, leather. And don't need pants. I already have them. So, boys, that's it. Very, very long video. Sorry about that. That fight ends up being 895. Oof, just about 900 seconds. Just to show you, here's this little building. There are 5 placeholders. You saw the one. What you want to do, I feel, is obviously you saw where I fought this one. I like to set up right about here. I tag this first one and I pull them over, and when they're on this ridge right here is when I send Jobber. That keeps it far enough away where the roamer doesn't engage. You have to watch. This roamer will go pretty far back in the building, so you'll be able to pull when it's back in that side. But anytime he's in this like curved part of this walking path, he will add, and it's just not fun. But yeah, that's it. You've seen the placeholders. You saw the fight. It was a very, very long fight. Manage your mana a little better than I did. Don't screw up and hit Death Bloom first. Hit Blood Magic till it goes to Kaza, till it goes to the 3rd Blood Magic, and then hit Death Bloom. That'll keep your mana full for a lot longer. You won't have to use Staunch Recovery, or maybe you will. Always keep a Staunch Recovery around for fights like this. I try not to ever touch it, except for when I know you've got a billion hit point boss, or in the case of this guy. Yeah, I mean, essentially it was a billion. It was a billion hit points because of the healing. So that's it, boys. I hope this video helps you guys with your camp for Diablas. Questions, comments, put them below. And I will see you all in the next video.